Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network for an installment of the 2024 Texas Pro Men's Open Bodybuilding Division. We're going to go through the lineup. We're going to go through my predictions at the very end, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned all the way till the end and check the timestamps if you want to jump ahead. Now, we do have a relatively full lineup here for this Texas Pro. A lot of competitors we're seeing repeating from the Tampa, from the Chicago. So a lot of these names are going to look familiar. A lot of the faces are going to look familiar. So make sure you guys keep that in mind as we roll into the first competitor. It looks like he's turning pro at the most recent Masters last year, the USA's. I'm not sure where we're going to see this guy in the lineup. Debatably, it's going to be a pretty stacked first call out. So definitely not going to be in that running for the first call out, but definitely has a series back, and we could see him make improvements over the years. Now, Lewis Breed, obviously we just saw him at the Tampa Pro. He's going to be a first call out kind of guy. You know, how far up the first call out, that's going to be something we'll find out at the end of the video. You'll get to see my thoughts, my predictions for him. Next up, we have Christian Caldwell, and this guy is he's doing pretty well. I think he needs to improve overall, just more size, more mass, but he did well-ish at the Tampa. He was outside the top 10, if I remember, 14th, I think. So good lines, good structure, just needs more size. And we have Bobby Cartalemi. I'm just going to go with Bobby for this one. Now, I like him. I think his midsection needs to stay a little tight. He definitely needs more size overall. A few of these guys we're going to be saying they need size overall. So, no disrespect, obviously. Now, the Yi-Shan Cheng, this guy has made improvements over the last few years. He's been a top 10 competitor. I think he's going to be a top 10 competitor here as well. So keep an eye out for him, especially in the prejudging. We're going to look at that conditioning and see if it's been able to maintain over the last few shows. Now, one of the biggest names here, Nathan Epler, top 4 212 Olympian, and then now he's an open guy. He's a top 4 open guy at these tier 1 shows. Not that the tier systems are around anymore, but look for him. He's going to be in that winning circle. He's going to be battling it out for that 1 through 3. Now, I do like this guy, Stephen Frazier. I believe he's Dave Palumbo's athlete. They were talking on a recent Heavy Muscle Radio or one of those episodes. I like this guy. Good structure. He's got good arms. He did the Legion last year, I do believe it was, and was not in the conversation for winning, but we hopefully get to see some improvements from him. Dorian Haywood as well. Thought I saw him on the lineup for the Tampa. I did not remember seeing him, so he must have been outside the top 10, or he didn't do that show. He'll be doing this one. One of these guys just needs to nail the conditioning and keep the midsection nice and tight. Jordan Hutchinson, as we roll along, I hope you guys enjoy the tempo for these videos moving forward. Jordan Hutchinson, he's going to be in the winning circle as well. Him, Nathan, another athlete we'll talk about in just a second. Those guys are going to be in this conversation. They're going to be in that battle, so look forward to seeing him. Great structure, great young athlete. Andrew Jacked, don't really need to say anything about this guy. He's going to be the heavy favorite to win this show. He's going to go for the 3-time title in the Texas Pro. Something you don't really see nowadays is athletes defending their pro titles at Olympia qualifying shows. Anthony Jehl out of France. I really like this guy's structure. I think he has a lot of potential. He's going to be in my top 10. Heck, he might even be in my top 8. So stay tuned for the end and check the timestamps if you want to skip ahead. Another athlete that I think is going to be in the top 10 and in the conversation to be a first call-out competitor is Felix Norman. He did amazing at the Tampa. I do believe he was in that top 6, top 8 conversation. So we could see him moving up even more at this show. We have Carlos Philbrick, and the Muscle Contest Ireland was a 212 show. So this was a 212 guy. He moved up we're not really sure where we're going to see him in this lineup, and I honestly haven't seen any updates on Instagram for him. So you expect to see him probably outside that top 10. We've got some big boys. Speaking of big boys, we've got Josue Plascencia, or Joey J. I think I remember Max Muscle saying something about this guy had a couple names, but he's been around for a little bit. And good structure, nice and tall. He just needs to fill out the frame, and he needs to bring the conditioning. We have Nathan Styles as we get towards the end of this video. Not too familiar with this guy. Looks like he did the Yamamoto Spain, and I don't remember seeing him in that top 10. So if he's lucky, we'll see him around that, but not everyone can be in the top 10. So always keep that in mind with these prediction videos. And Mr. Tomczuk out of Poland did the Tampa Pro just recently. We're going to see this guy kind of floating around at the end of that top 10, but amazing conditioning, and he's definitely brought some size in those legs. He's made improvements, so we could see him continuing to improve over the years. This is my prediction. If I did leave anyone out, I do apologize. But I did want to give a rough idea of who's going to be where, who's on first, who's on second, if anyone gets that reference. Andrew in first, Jordan in second, Nathan in third, and then Lewis in, fourth? And then we have the newcomer, Felix, in fifth. So I'm excited with this lineup. I think it's going to be a really good top 5. Some of the other guys kind of sprinkling in here and there. Again, nothing in stone. This isn't like a crazy prediction video. I'm going to do my best to hop on and do a live reaction, a little bit of a rant tomorrow with Mark's Max Muscle. So stay tuned for that. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for welcoming me back to YouTube. It's been really fun getting back into it and making videos as I'm still deployed. So we'll be back in California eventually, but that'll do it for another episode here on the Bodybuilding News Network. I'm your host here, as always, Josh Sanj. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you beautiful people in the next one.